Let's start off with letting the dog in on this bumpy 50-point inspection. Well, on this 50-point inspection from Liquid Therapy, I have a beer called Peanut Butter and Jelly. This is a wheat beer, and it says, Liquid Therapy, the comforting combination of PB&J on wheat. Comes in at 5.3% ABV. That's the can art. I mean, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on wheat bread. Let's just read a little bit about Liquid Therapy, at least what they say about them. A couple of self-proclaimed brewery shrinks, Jason Palmer and Stanley Tremblay, are primed to advance the already booming New Hampshire craft brewing industry. Not only are they creating fresh, unique beer selections, but they create most of their amazing food in-house. Built on the theory of community, Liquid Therapy isn't your typical brew pub or hole-in-the-wall. Looking to build on the commonalities we all share, they welcome those who desire to enjoy something new that the mainstream players wouldn't dare attempt, while engaging with one another in a positive, enlightening atmosphere. Located in what is the original firehouse of Nashua, Central Firehouse on 14 Court Street furthers that desire. They are looking to share 100 years of active firehouse history with those who come in, as it is no longer a dormant building that once housed history, but an active participant in building upon it. Servicemen and women, bring your patches and we will hang them. Friends, family, community, minister to one another, raise a glass, restore the soul. Cheers. All right. Hey, so if you're going to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich here, and you're going to put it in a glass, what glassware do you use? I chose a dimpled mug. Why not? So this is a wheat beer, like I said. Let's go ahead and pour it and put it through this inspection. Probably shouldn't have poured it so aggressively, and I can tell you, like, as soon as I opened it, there's already aromatics coming out, but I will get to that. This thing has a giant head on it, as you can see. Different sized bubbles, a little bit off-white, kind of creamy. The color of the beer itself, it kind of has a slight, like, gold to tan, maybe a little bit of a reddish type hue as well. It almost looks like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right there. So just letting this head die down a little bit. It's pretty frothy and stuff on top. I could have poured it less aggressively, but anyways, the aromas on this, it smells exactly like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's got bready notes with that wheat bread type note going on. It's got like a raspberry jelly and lots of peanut butter as well. Maybe a little bit toasty, so maybe a toasted wheat bread peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's pretty amazing with the way that this thing smells. Jammy. All right, well, let's go ahead and take our first swig out of this one, so cheers. Alright, so the flavor's a little bit less of that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Some mild type wheat notes in there, not super bready, not toasty on the palate. The peanut butter is slightly there. It's more or less like the Captain Crunch peanut butter balls, and the jelly, though still kind of resembling a raspberry, somewhat grapish jelly now too. It kind of reminds me of the Captain Crunch Crunch Berries. So if you blended Captain Crunch peanut butter cereal and Captain Crunch Crunch Berries together, that's kind of what this is. On the palate a little bit. There is a slight bitterness on the tail end as well. It's a little bit on the earthy side. Yeah, I think everybody should go out and just get those two brands of cereal there. They're both Captain Crunch. I think that's Kellogg's. It might be General Mills. I don't know. I haven't eaten cereal in a long time. But yeah, if you kind of want to get the gist of what this tastes like, go ahead and eat that if you can't get this beer. Which, if you're not living in New Hampshire, especially near the Nashua area, you're probably not going to find this beer. They just started sending them out to local brews. Used to have local stores, I should say. Used to have to go to the brewery itself. And all right, well, let's see what else I can find in this. But yeah, the smell's straight up peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Carbonation on this one's a bit low. I would probably like a little bit more carbonation. Body feels about medium. I would say they're using some type of an American wheat yeast. Kind of start to get a little bit of that almost it's a rubbery type note on the back end, which isn't too pleasant. But overall, the upfront flavors are fairly decent. But yeah, that kind of rubbery note there. I've had the same flavor pop up in Oberon from Bell's, which is an American wheat, and that to me tasted like a burning rubber tire for the most part because of the yeast that they were using. But let's go ahead and give this one a score. Okay. So, fair to say that this the appearance on this 6 out of 6 leaves some lacing in the glass there. If I keep it on camera, it, like I said, looks like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Basically, we blended up peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's kind of what it might look like. The aromas on it, spot on, peanut butter and jelly. I mean, it's perfect for the aromas. 10 out of 10. Flavors left a little bit to be desired. The kind of cereal there I was talking about with the Captain Crunch varieties, not bad, but I still wish it tasted like it smelled. If it tastes exactly like it smelled, would have been fantastic. That little bit of that kind of rubbery note coming off, I believe it is from the yeast probably being used. I'm guessing they're using American wheat because I'm not getting the banana and the clove type notes, which would have been interesting, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with banana. So maybe a German Hefeweizen yeast like Weisstefana or something like that, if they're not already using that. But to me, it does resemble a little bit of like what Oberon was from Bell's, like I mentioned. So, and they do use an American wheat yeast. So, yeah, there's that. The balance also just a little bit off. Like I said, this one does have a bit of a bitterness at the end, and it is earthy toned. So. I don't know, less hop bitterness. It is still kind of mild, but just this is like a lower flavored brew, so less bitterness and or some type of hop that's not going to give off this earthy tone. Maybe something that even if it was a bit citrusy, or just kind of shoot for like a floral to fruity type flavor, or very, very clean, it would be good. Body on it's fine, 5 out of 5. My overall for this one, aromas are great, flavor is decent. I mentioned certain things that I think could make it, better. And I'm at a 7 out of 10. Just it's interesting. I mean, if this thing did taste, it does have that kind of still American wheat beer type thing going for it, so it doesn't just taste like some weird gimmicky type thing. It's got the base kind of, and then it has the additional flavors. So that's why I'm at a 7 out of 10 for it, just because it is still just like a almost base plus. It could have been better if that plus was more in lines of that peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the flavor. So for peanut butter and the wheat beer peanut butter and jelly from Liquid Therapy, which is out of Nashua, New Hampshire, if I haven't mentioned it, it gets a BuMpY 41 out of 50, which is going to put this as a very good beer. So yeah, go out if you can find this, give it a try. If not, eat the Captain Crunch berries with the Captain Crunch peanut butter. So cheers. Thank you all for watching.